Hey there, everyone. Welcome back to this live stream today. Great to have some people on board already. It's just great to be up and on live on Home Assistant. Simon Says Home Assistant live stream once again. Now, today we've got lots of interesting stuff to talk about. It's been a great week for me. I launched some videos last weekend which had some fantastic results, and they were pretty much all around some of the latest voice hardware. And that was pretty cool because it basically tied into a lot of the stuff that's changing at the moment with Home Assistant. I'm sure if you've been following the 2025.10 release, you've seen that there's been a real focus on the voice component. One of the key things that's come out of the voice now is the dual voice assistants running on one single voice assistant piece of hardware. So I tested it out. I did a little live stream, not a live stream, a short, basically showing how I connected up two different streams or video or audio voice streams. And I basically had each one with its own wake word. So I had one running with the Hey OK Nabu stream. Sorry guys, I won't do that again. And the second one was Hey the Other Fella that we all know about. And it's pretty cool because you can basically now trigger two different voice streams. You might want to do that for a number of reasons. One of the first ones I've seen people talk about is the fact that they can have two different languages. So you might be in a dual language home and you want one voice assistant to speak in English, for example, and another one in French, say, if you're in Canada. So it's pretty cool to see what can be done now with these two voice assistants. I'd really like to get your guys' feedback on whether you're using voice in your home. And if you are using voice, what are you finding about it? Obviously, the delay in the response is still quite a challenge. You could still be waiting 1, 2, 3, or even 4 seconds. And that's also dependent on whether you're running it locally. So you're just communicating between the voice device and Home Assistant, or whether you're going into the cloud using either the Home Assistant cloud, or otherwise you're using one of the other AI recognition softwares that we can use to actually make our Home Assistant voice a little bit smarter. So yeah, let me know what you think. Let me know what you're doing with voice at the moment. Are you using the traditional voice assistants, the Amazon or the Google or the Apple one, or are you trying out Home Assistant voice? Let us know in the chat. It'll be great to find out what you're doing. So as I say, recently I've been, let's just find it over here. I did a video last week about this guy. So this has been recently released from Seed Studio. Seed Studio is really up there with creating AI-based devices. And they released this device a couple of weeks back, maybe a couple of months, I'm not sure exactly. But it is a board that has got 4 different microphones on it. And basically the cool thing is it's got LEDs around here. So when you talk to the voice assistant, you can actually see the direction in which you're coming from. But more importantly, it's got the XMOS chip built in there, which allows it to actually do voice detection, especially in noisy environments. That's something that I found out with my voice assistant, is that the noisy environments, I'm using the Voice PE, the noisy environments can definitely affect the response to voice. So this is a really cool little mic. The one I've got here has got the built-in ESP32 chip. So I downloaded the software that they've created for use with ESP Home, flashed it onto the chip, and this is a great little voice assistant. Now, the only thing that this lacks at the moment is a case. So they have actually sent me some files for a 3D printed case for this device. Sorry, there's 2 things. It lacks a case and a speaker of some form. So I'm going to print the case for this. I've got to fiddle around with my 3D printer a little bit, but I'm going to print the case for this. and then I'm going to try and find a speaker that I can connect up to this permanently in some sort of a case so that I can get this working, because I think there's a lot of benefit in having better microphone technology so that we can improve the performance. We hear a lot of people saying, I'm sticking with Amazon or I'm sticking with Google because it works so well. I've used them in the past. I've still got one of the Amazon devices in my bathroom. I really just use it for playing music and having a little screen showing me what the time is. But honestly, I like the idea of local voice control. And the next step that I'm going to go is to work on having a look at some of the Seed Studio AI devices. So if we have a look here, oh, welcome. We've got Barry. Simon. Barry must be from South Africa. Welcome, Barry. Great to have you here. Please tell us what you are running your Home Assistant on and what are, let's just pop that up there. Barry is what Barry Evans said, Simon. So if you're not from South Africa, is uncle. So yeah, I'm living in New Zealand now, but I grew up in Johannesburg, South Africa. So Afrikaans would be my second language. And it's a cool language. It's great to have two languages. So for example, for South Africans, you could have an English and an Afrikaans voice response in Home Assistant. If it runs, I haven't actually tried it in Afrikaans, but yeah, it'd be good to hear, Barry, if you speak Afrikaans at home, whether you've tried one of those different voice assistants. So just having a look, as I was mentioning here, I'm just going to switch you over to my screen and I'm going to show you the Seed Studio website. So as you can see here with Seed Studio, they are really focused on these type of AI-based computers. So they've got this one here, for example, it's called the Recomputer Industrial. It's a reliable Raspberry Pi Edge AI IoT controller. So basically, it's got some sort of a hardware or a AI processor that's sitting alongside the Raspberry Pi to give you that AI acceleration. So I've been dealing closely with Seed for a while now, and I'm quite keen to try out one of these devices and actually install Olama or another locally controlled or locally hosted AI system so that I can connect my voice assistant to a local device. I think that will be pretty cool. All right. So Barry is telling us, we'll just increase this slightly. Barry is telling us that he's running Home Assistant on Proxmox. Wow. Well, that's next level, Barry. You're saying that you are still new to Home Assistant, on the hunt for a YouTuber who is setting up Home Assistant dashboards. I need to learn to set up the dashboard part. Otherwise, my HA is up and running even with remote access. Wow, so I'm assuming based on that you've done your own remote access, Barry. Wow, that's pretty impressive. I'm assuming that you're an IT wizard, that you know how to do all of these things. Personally, for me, I kicked off on a Raspberry Pi. I've now got it running on a mini PC, a secondhand mini PC, and it's working pretty awesome. Dashboards myself, I'll show you my dashboard. I am not an expert on dashboards by any means, Barry, but I will show you what I've done. It's a real basic thing at the moment. Let's just switch over my screen and show you what my dashboard looks like at the moment. There we go. You can see what's happening there. So mine is really basic at the moment. I've got two heat pumps, one in the lounge and one in the bedroom, so I'm controlling those. Those are Panasonics. They integrate really well with the Hex integration into Home Assistant. I always like to see what's going on with my Home Assistant. So I want to know what the processor is running at and the temperature. Time is always good to have on any display. Power, I love seeing how much power my home is using. I've got two power meters at the moment. I'm measuring the power on my hot water cylinder, or geyser as it's called in South Africa, and I'm also measuring it on the rest of my house. I've got a weather prediction. I've got an audio card that can push my audio, or I can run audio through Music Assistant. Down here, I've got the Whitboy weather station. I love seeing what's going on with the weather. And I also have some outdoor sensors for the air quality, so particulate and carbon dioxide. So it just gives you an idea. That's a real basic dashboard. You can see here at the moment, this is the new dashboard that Home Assistant is producing. What I really like with Home Assistant is they're starting to play around with new pre-configured dashboards. And I think this is a pretty cool thing. For example, we can go to lights and we can see which of my lights are doing what over there. We can go to climate, and as you can see, one of the problems which was discussed recently is that when you go to, you can also go to rooms, but there's no way of basically sorting out devices that are unavailable and not showing them, which is something that I think would be a really good option. So as you can see, it breaks it down into areas. It gives us summaries. It shows us some of the energy that we're using. Also the weather card over there. So yeah, really interested to see where all of this is going to go in the future with regards to dashboards, because I agree, Barry, dashboards are a big thing with Home Assistant. The traditional Home Assistant dashboard, where it just threw up all the stuff on the screen, was just crazy. No one wanted that. And yeah, there's a lot of people that are real wizards. They're still doing it all via using ESP or YAML code, which for me is a little bit over the top. Okay, Barry's saying he's got the Sonoff POCT 320, but yet to install it. Let's just see which one the 320 was. So I'm using a Sonoff energy meter at the moment, and it's working absolutely cool. I've got 2 of them running, and I've been using them for ages. And yeah, they work very, very well. Easy to run, no products. So that looks like exactly the same. Let me just switch you all over there. So the POWCT Smart Power Meter from Sonoff. I've got 2 of these running at the moment. They're pretty cost effective. I quite like that it's got the little screen that actually displays the power while it's showing it. It's got the clamp, so that basically clamps onto the live wire. And then it's got an antenna. It's also got a DIN rail clamp, so you could mount this in your power box. Monitors up to 100 watts, 100 amps. Sorry, yep, 100 amps. So yeah, these are great. I'm really, really happy with mine. I'm just trying to see where the model number is. You're saying the 320. I can't see the model, but I'm assuming that it is one of a very similar type things. Yeah. So great choice, Barry. I'm finding that fantastically useful. And yeah, let us know what you do come up with the way of dashboards. I've seen some really cool things. Some of the cards that I really like for dashboards are, first of all, the mushroom cards. I started using those. And then the bubble cards. I do have a video on my channel showing you how to use the bubble cards. I think bubble cards and mushroom cards are a really cool way of creating dashboards. Now, interesting enough, I'd be interested to know, Barry, how you're planning to display your dashboard. Are you just going to be using it on your phone, or are you going to use it on a tablet, which is going to be, on the wall? Personally, what I've done is I've just recently installed a computer monitor on top of my fridge in the kitchen. And I'm finding that's pretty cool. I've got an wave sensor just situated below it. And what it does, the moment I walk into the kitchen, it triggers a smart plug, which turns on the display. And I'm running Raspberry Pi OS on a Raspberry Pi 5, and I'm using that to display the content. And I'm finding it's really cool. I will do a video on it soon showing you guys what I've done there. Welcome. We've got another comment here from our listeners. I use 2 Shelly EM units to measure the power and solar. I just run power one direction in solar, the other to know how much I'm producing above and beyond what I'm using. Excellent. Thank you so much, M. France. That's great to know. Now, I don't currently have solar in my system, but yeah, the solar power management is absolutely cool to see. It's pretty exciting, I'm sure, to see that solar energy coming in and charging up either your batteries or running your devices during the time when you've got solar power. I know in South Africa, solar is a really big thing. Obviously, with the rolling power outages, solar power has been just an absolute godsend. So, yeah, it's interesting to see where solar is going to go. Personally, in New Zealand, I'm not using solar at the moment, but I would love to. Okay, so Barry's saying he's got a tablet A9 Plus with a wall mount. I've also got the Sonoff Mini D for garages and the Shelly 1 Gen 3 with a reed switch. Fantastic. Yep. So you're right into the Shelly and the Sonoff devices there, Barry. Yeah. For me, Shelly and Sonoff, I basically work closely with those companies, and I've tested basically every single Sonoff device that has been released in the last 2 years. So yeah, I'm a big Sonoff fan. Shelly, I am also. I find that Shelly content, whenever I publish Shelly content, I get absolutely a massive amount of interest. So yeah, both of those two companies producing some fantastic content at the moment. I was running a tablet for a short while. I had an iPad that I was using. I just had it sitting on the microwave oven, and I was using one of the display softwares. But I'm actually really enjoying having the computer screen and having it turn on automatically based on motion as I walk into the kitchen. I then have a little mouse and a keyboard that I just stick on the side of my fridge that I can pull out, and I can go in and work on the content because it doesn't have a touch screen that I can use to access the content. But for me, it's pretty cool just seeing weather. I've also got a what I really like. One of the features I really like with voice is the using the shopping list. So basically, I can speak to my voice assistant, and I can say, add peanut butter to my shopping list. And it works really cool. It produces the shopping list, and then as I buy the items, I can just tick them off. And it's a great little home assistant tool that I'm using at the moment. Okay, but getting back to Shelly and Sonoff, both those companies are releasing some fantastic products at the moment. Let's just go to Sonoff, for example. Let's just switch you guys over to Sonoff. There we go. What's going on here? We're seeing the help center. I want to see the products. There we go. Let's check the products out. So this is a product that I've just been playing around with. This is a new release from them. I've used the Sonoff Zigbee dongle for years and years and years and found it to be super reliable. This is now a new dongle that has just been released from them. What's cool about it is PoE powered or USB-C powered. It's got 2 chips inside there. It's got the Zigbee controller with the MG24 Silicon Labs, and then it has the Wi-Fi as well. So you can mount this anywhere in your home, communicates with Wi-Fi back to your router and then Home Assistant, and you can then be running the Zigbee. You can also WireGuard this, so you can run this in any location in the world, connect via Home Assistant to it. So pretty cool what they've launched there. So they've got some great new products coming out. They've got these new curtain controllers with the buttons. They've got this is the, I call this the OG. This is the new version of the Sonoff Basic, the Gen 5. Just did a video on this recently, and yeah, a lot of people love the Sonoff, the original Sonoff. Yeah, it's a fantastic device, and now they've released it. It's running on Matter over Wi-Fi, super easy to connect. Does have a little push button that you can use. Only problem that I was pointed out by my viewers was that in many countries this is not legal to actually split the shielding off over here. So yeah, not sure about that, but other than that, fantastic new products coming in here from Sonoff. That is for sure. Pretty interesting. All right. Hill Phantom. Oh my goodness. Welcome, Hill. Great to see you, mate. Hill is saying, I love Shelly and Sonoff, like their cameras and buttons. We're lucky to have so many great options. Hill, I've just been watching your latest video this morning. Fantastic, mate. I love the rip-off of all the shills out there. Basically, absolutely classic, mate. And yeah, using AI generated content to make that video was pretty cool. Guys, check out Hill Phantom's channel. He's doing some super cool stuff. He's quite a clever networking nerd, not like me, who's absolutely useless at networking. But check out Hill's channel. He is doing some absolutely awesome stuff out there. Yeah, guys, so it's so cool having everyone on the live stream today. Absolutely fantastic to be back here with you guys. Now, what I'm going to do today is just have a look at some new products that come on the market, but also we're going to have a look at some of the comments that are coming from you, the listeners out there. And feel free, pipe in, give us your comments. I'm doing the live stream at a slightly different time this morning, so it's quite interesting to see who has come on board today, just trialing a different time. It's 7 a.m., well, almost 7:30 now here in New Zealand, but for a lot of the world, you'll be in your evening time at the moment. So let's just have a look at some of those questions that I have been asked on my YouTube channel recently. Okay, so another little device that I did play with recently was let me show you over here, on the Seed Studio. They've got this thing called the Watcher. And this is quite a funky little device. This is the one that I got here. There are two versions of the software for this device. There's an older version, and this is the latest version. So it's basically an AI assistant, and it's got this little wheel. It's got a microphone. It's got a camera, and it can basically both communicate with you. It has a wake word, which I did find out recently. It's also got the camera, so it can actually watch what's going on, and then it can basically trigger from something that it sees on its camera. Now, what someone was saying is that this would be quite a cool option to connect into Home Assistant. Now, I'm really keen to see, they have shown a video, Seed Studio has, of it controlling home automation devices. When I asked Seed about this, they did explain that you need a device running the MCP protocol in order to communicate with other smart home devices. And from what I understood, you need to install this MCP protocol on a machine, basically running a local AI. So I've actually requested that one of these Seed, I get one of these Seed local AI machines, set it up, and see if we can get this little guy communicating through the MCP to Home Assistant, because yeah, it's quite a fun little device. It's got the screen, shows you a few things, and it's quite interactive with the camera as well. All right, let's see what we've got going on here. Phil is saying, thank you so much, loving the live. Awesome, mate. Yeah, lives are good fun. I find lives are just absolutely fantastic to engage with the audience and have a good chat. All right. M is saying it is 2:30 here in the USA East. 2:30, I'm assuming that's 2:30 p.m. in the afternoon, is it? Yeah, all the times around the world. It's quite weird. You know, I can be here first thing in the morning. I've got you guys in the afternoon. I'm not sure where Europe is. They might be sleeping at the moment. South Africa must be somewhere around 7:30 p.m. So yeah, it's pretty cool. All right. Don't forget to drop a like so others can find the stream while it's alive. Oh, thank you, Logic. Appreciate that, guys. If you can drop a like, that would be absolutely fantastic. It's really, really great to have all of you here and chatting with me. All right. So let's have a look at some of the other questions that I've been getting recently. Wondering what I would need. Okay, this is what I've been asking about it. I have voice PE also. Is wondering what I need more. I see I could use it for. Okay, so someone was asking the question. They saw my little short about the two voice assistants on one device, and they're asking what it can be used for. Now, I think there's a lot of opportunities for this. We spoke about the languages, but I think there's a lot of other opportunities as well. For example, you might have two different voice assistant AI profiles. So you might have one more focused on the technical aspects of the home, and the other one, so for example, the administrator, the persons that's running the smart home might want to have a more technical response, or another family member might want to have a more family friendly response. So you could have two different characters in your AI responding in a different manner. So there's another way you could do it. Other method. Oh, there's so many options that you could actually use having the two different versions. So I'm sure we're going to see some interesting stuff coming out from the community showing here. All right, Barry is saying it's 7:25 in Angola. Oh my goodness, Angola. Well, welcome from Angola, Barry. That is so cool to have people from Africa. Wow, I really miss Africa. It's just fantastic. I love the sunrises on Africa when you're out in the bush on a game drive or something like that. Man, I miss that. It's just something else. What just that whole African theme is just amazing. It's something you never get out of your blood. Okay. We have another question here that came in from Zigaroo S Junk saying, are you using the Reolink NVR or another brand with OnViv configuration? So this is quite an interesting question around the use of cameras with different branded NVRs. I don't know what your guys' experience is. My first NVR that I got was a Reolink NVR, and I've been using it with Reolink cameras. I've not tried connecting any other cameras. The feedback I'm getting from most people is that trying to integrate other cameras with different NVRs is quite difficult. And yeah, so I haven't even gone down that route. Most of my cameras, well, all of the cameras that I use around my house at the moment are Reolinks. So I haven't really tried any others. But yeah, OnViv is certainly a tool that could be used for connecting cameras from different devices to different NVRs. What I'm really excited about is the integration, and I actually did a live stream a week ago with Reolink. It was pretty cool. I did actually go and visit Reolink in China last year, December, and it's quite interesting. Phantom Hill, don't call me a shill, but yeah, I do really enjoy Reolink cameras, and especially the level of integration that they've allowed for within Home Assistant. It's just amazing to see every time I put a new Reolink camera, it comes up with more integration. As long as the NVR and camera supports OnViv, it's all good to go, Barry is telling us. Thank you for that feedback, Gary. Well, I might actually try and see if I've got another OnViv supported. I think I'm back. I don't know what happened. A Riverside dropped me in it there. The whole feed just disappeared. If you can just let us know, guys, if I'm back. Let's just go into the studio chat here. No. We want to be in the proper chat with all of you guys. Live stream chat. Camera dropped. Yep, I know. I'm back again. Hell Phantom. Don't know what went on there. Riverside basically done. Maybe I should switch over to a paid version of a live stream software and see if I get some better. Okay, let's have a look. Barry's saying my combination cameras are Tapo, eWeLink, UNV, VIGI with Hikvision NVR. Wow, that's quite a mix, say Barry. That's incredible. Oh, thank you, Hill. I'm back. That's good to hear. Yeah, let's hope that it doesn't dump me in it again. Okay, so it's great to hear that OnViv is the way to go to integrate multiple cameras with a single NVR. Now, obviously, NVRs are the best way of recording consistent 24/7 camera footage, which for me is the way to go. Personally, I love having the cameras that are wired, so PoE cameras. However, recently, what I've been using are the cameras with the light. You know, you're outside of my house, at the front of the house and at the back of the house. When I moved into the house, it had those normal old 2 little spotlights and a PIR sensor. And what Reolink has come out with recently, and I see a lot of the other manufacturers are doing it as well, is having 2 spotlights and a camera instead of just a normal lighting. And I think this is a fantastic idea because obviously solar cameras are great, but the limitation of solar is you can't have 24/7 recording. You've got to bring it up each time it spots motion so that you don't use up the batteries. So for me, just having the 220 volt coming directly into the camera and the light works absolutely awesome. I've got 2 of the 360-degree cameras, and I've just got a new one that I've installed, which is PoE. Sorry, not PoE, pan, tilt, and zoom, PTZ camera. So yeah, that is going to be an upcoming video soon, and I'll show you. But yeah, I'm finding those to be absolutely awesome, and I am running that into my Reolink camera in VR. But yeah, interesting to see. Another thing that I'm seeing that's going to be really cool is using AI to basically monitor your cameras and then push you video clips that you need to see. So the thing about an NVR for me is you open it up and you just got this 24 hours of footage. And yeah, you might have little lines showing you if something's happened. But if you're like me and you live on a busy street, basically, yeah, that thing is just going all the time because it's picking up the cars. So, oh, Emmy's saying that he's got sound only. That is odd. So are you not seeing the picture? That is strange. Everyone else, Barry says 220 volts. Yeah, I mean, Hillsing is seeing. Are you seeing me, guys? Hopefully, I see I've lost a whole lot of people. Not sure. Have I got camera? Let's just check my camera. Audio and video settings. Let's just see. OBS virtual camera. Yep, I should have camera. Not sure, guys. Okay, well, let's carry on and see. Hopefully, it's working. These are the challenges of live streams, guys. If you guys can just give me some feedback if you've got sound and video, because M seems to say he's got sound only. All right. So getting back into the things that I'm chatting about here. Okay, so another question that I had recently was just going back. I know we're bouncing all over the show, excuse me, guys, but it's great to answer questions as they come. Barry is saying, we see you, Chommy. Nice one. Good one, Barry. Thanks for the feedback. Okay, so just getting back to, we were talking earlier about power monitoring. So I've got the Sonoff power monitors, and you've also got the Shelly ones that work really well. They're the little clamps. You clamp them around the live wires that you need, and then they use Wi-Fi to send the signal back into Home Assistant. Now, someone is asking me, can you pull that out of Home Assistant in, for example, an Excel spreadsheet? And yeah, it's actually, I found a way to do it. It's pretty easy. I literally just Googled it, and let me show you what I did. Let's just go here. So I said, can you pull data out of Home Assistant for an entity? And this is what's amazing. You just Google these things and they come. All you do, navigate to the history panel, select the entity you want to examine, select the time frame, and click the download button to export it. Okay, so easy as that. You're able to pull data out in a format. Now, one thing that I really like about Home Assistant now, if we look at, for example, my power data, there we go, here's my power, and we go show more, for example. So one of the cool things is if we go in here and we select a longer time, so it used to be only for 10 days that it worked, but now Home Assistant is collecting data over a much longer period. And what it's doing, it's quite clever, is that it is actually it's taking a little bit of time here. Hopefully it'll get here eventually. There we go. So what it's showing you here is that it collects high amounts of data, so high number of data points for the last 10 days. But then after that, it creates a graph of obviously less data points, but it's still pulling it. So you can still see your power usage, even though it's not to as high a degree of granularity. Okay, so all you do now is once you've got your history page, you go download data, and it produces a CSV file that we can open up. Oh, it's disappeared here. Where's it gone? Let's go to my downloads. We can open this. There we go. History file. Okay. Open up in Notepad, and let's have a look at what that history CSV file looks like. Is it coming up? Notepad. Always, let's say. So there we go. So you can see the way that it's pulling it in. Man, we've got a lot of data there. So it's telling us the name of the sensor. It's giving us the actual power. It's giving us the date and the time. So that's pretty cool, being able to pull that sort of history out of Home Assistant and then use it for whatever you may want to do. So yeah, pretty cool. Switch me back on. Great that my Stream Deck is working, so I can actually switch these screens more easily. Okay. So yeah, that is around history in our history on our Home Assistant dashboard. Okay, so that's pretty cool. All right. Now, some of the other things that I wanted to chat about today was just having a look at something over here. And this is the fact that, oh, where am I? Let's just check here. Oh, yeah, there we go. We will just shift back to here. All right. So recently I did a live stream and I was talking about Shelly, and someone told me that Shelly is now partnered with EcoWit. So I've got one of these EcoWit weather stations at the moment. It's absolutely fantastic. It works really, really nicely. It's got a different type of rain sensor. It's not the tipping cup rain. It's got this, whatever is on the surface here, but basically picks up the rainfall, the wind. There's no need for those little cups and the moving vane and all that. There's no moving parts at all in this. It measures the wind based on 4 little sensors over here, and it's got temperature, humidity, it's got pressure. This is honestly the best weather station I've ever owned. Now, what's happened is that Shelly has teamed up with EcoWit. The only limitation of the EcoWit is that you need a specialized base station in order to pair this with, and then that plugs into my Ethernet. So that is, I mean, it's not a limitation. It just means that you've got another base station. But the beauty of Shelly coming into the path now is what they've done is they've put one of their Shelly modules inside here instead of the RF module I'm assuming it was working before. And now this communicates via Bluetooth. So now your EcoWit can connect to any Bluetooth. Well, they're saying a Shelly Bluetooth gateway. It'd be interesting to know whether it can connect to other Bluetooth gateways as well. And another thing that would be interesting is what is the actual range like when you're communicating over Wi-Fi? Oh, dual connectivity, Bluetooth and Zigbee. Okay, so that's interesting. So you can connect it either via Bluetooth or via Zigbee. Now, the one thing I did like about the 433 megahertz radio was it was really long range. Interesting to see what the range is when you're running from outdoors to indoors with this device. But yeah, great to see that Shelly has teamed up with these guys and is producing a slightly different form of system. All right. So Barry is saying, could be better with Excel and split those items into columns. Yeah, totally, Barry. So what you can do is, I don't have Excel loaded on this computer that I'm running on at the moment, and that's why I just showed it in Notepad, but a CSV file can easily be imported into Excel. So that's an easy one, no problem at all to do that. Yeah, as you say, this is a CSV format. Okay. Cheers, chat on the next live. So Barry's headed off. Thank you for joining the live stream, Barry. Really great to have you. Okay. Hill Fandom is saying, that's super cool. I didn't know they had a weather station. Neither did I. Yeah. So Shelly has teamed up with EcoWit. EcoWit creates a weather station. Shelly's put their module inside us, which is now giving us both Bluetooth and Zigbee. So fantastic. You don't need a hub anymore, and you can now just connect into your Zigbee or your Bluetooth network. So pretty exciting. Honestly, Shelly, if we just go back to the Shelly website again, Shelly is producing some unbelievable stuff at the moment. Let's just see what else we can see over here. Yes, we're on there. So Shelly, that's the new EcoWit, okay, 7-in-1 weather station. They've produced some new power strips. Unfortunately, they don't have these for New Zealand, but great if you're in Europe. This one is on the way to me at the moment. This is Shelly's new flood detector. The cool thing is it has a wire that you basically run around and means that you get more detection than just a device on its own. So that's the new flood. What else have they got here? Smart tricks, don't know what that's about. Okay. But having a look, what are the other new Shelly devices? Now, this looks super cool. This is the Shelly Wall Display XL. It's a 10-inch touch color screen, which runs the Shelly software, okay? However, you can also display Home Assistant on here, which is quite cool. I've got the small Shelly wall display, the first one that they released, and the quality of that device was fantastic. Really, really cool. They've got the Shelly 2 with power monitoring here, Gen 4. There's the weather station. What else have we got over here? What is this? Portable EV charger. Let's check this out. Top AC portable EV charger. Okay, so they've obviously paired, I'm assuming, with this company, Top AC, and they've put one of their Shelly units inside of this. So pretty cool that you can actually go in here, and now you can use this to charge your EV and obviously then pull all the data. First of all, control it, but also pull all that data back. So dynamic load management, adjustable output current, local web interface, cloud management, and as with all Shelly devices, they integrate super well with Home Assistant. Let's see what else new Shelly has got here. So those are new. Am I able to, for some reason I can't get anywhere there. So what else has Shelly got that's new? Let's check this out. So that's the one I've got. It's a little square one. Works really great. Easily connect. Okay, are they producing a speaker now? That's interesting. Get your Shelly device. Yeah, so super cool stuff. They've got LoRa. They've got all sorts of things that are coming out. I'm also checking out a smoke detector from Shelly. So yeah, pretty cool. Great new products coming out from Shelly, and we'll wait and see what comes. If anyone that's online, please feel free. If there's something you'd like me to talk about, let me know. If there's a product that you're trying, let us know what you're running your Home Assistant on at the moment. What are your plans? As we've seen, some people are running it hosted on Dockers and stuff like that. Personally, I'm running it on a mini PC, which is working really, really cool. So let's just go and have a look at some of the other things that I was checking out this week. So if we go over here, now Apollo is always interesting. I've played with a lot of the Apollo sensors. They've recently released this little pump, which is part of their moisture management for plants. They've got the moisture sensors, and now they've got the pump. So you can actually have a bottle of water, and you can pump water directly when the plant dries out, reaches a certain level. You can pump water into your plant and basically feed it. All right. So some of the other things, I'm always interested to follow this as their product interest survey. It's always interesting to see what they're going to be doing next. So they are looking at a parking garage sensor, a multi-sensor modular. Okay, I'm not sure what that is. Low power millimeter wave, so battery powered millimeter wave. We've seen a few of those coming through, but they haven't been the 24 gigs. They've been the lower ones. E-ink display, I'm looking at getting a color e-ink display at the moment from one of the suppliers. So I think e-ink is a great tool. I played with the black and white one recently. Really great from a power consumption side. Whole home power monitoring, I think that's a good one. Certainly power monitoring is fantastic for me. A mailbox sensor, I did one recently with a LoRa. That was quite cool. A pressure weight sensor is quite useful. For example, if you're running on gas and you need to know how much gas you've got left. A speaker that you can cast to. Yep, definitely speakers and voice assistants are quite high on the priority. RGB landscape lighting, an RGB smart lamp, sprinklers and drip irrigation, LED segment display, outdoor weather station, radon sensor, smart air purifier, pool monitor, smart thermostat. So it'll be interesting to see which of these will be coming and also which of the protocols they're going to focus on. Most of their products at the moment are Wi-Fi. Be interesting to see if they bring out some Zigbee and some Matter. Z-Wave, there's that new long-range Z-Wave now. I haven't got Z-Wave at the moment, but yeah, interesting to see what is happening there. All right, switching back to you guys. M is saying, what is my favorite automation? Okay, that's an interesting one, and a lot of people ask me that. Now, for me, my automations are quite simple, and the most powerful ones for me are really, really simple. For example, turning lights on with motion is fantastic. So I've got a good night scene that I use. I trigger at the moment just by asking my voice assistant to turn off all the lights and put it into a night mode for the house. So that goes around and it checks that all my locks are locked. It turns off all my lights, turns off my my air conditioning in the rooms that I'm not sleeping in. For example, if I'm sleeping and I might want the air conditioner on at night. So it prepares the house for night mode. That's a big one. And then when I either get up in the morning or I return home, it will then put the house into an operational mode. So it'll do things like it'll turn off the alarm. It will basically, turn on some lights if it's nighttime based on the time. So I like those really basic ones. They're not too fancy, but they really, really do make my house more usable. It'd be interesting to know, anyone that's watching this live stream, what is your favorite automation and what are you automating with it? What is happening with your house? You know, what do you like doing? For me, it's those basic ones. It's turning on lights, it's turning off lights, it's saving energy. So basically if I leave home and it detects that my phone has moved out of my home zone, it will basically automatically put the house into the away mode. So it alarms the house, turns off all the lights, turns off all the heating appliances, absolutely everything. So it's those simple ones that I really enjoy. All right, so let's have a look at some of the other cool devices that could be coming out in the future. I'll show you a little video of something that popped up on my Facebook, and I don't know what you guys think about this. It's quite a crazy looking device, if I can find it here, or has it disappeared? Maybe it's disappeared. Where is it gone now? Maybe it is gone. It was just something that popped up on my Facebook feed, and it looked pretty cool, but well, something different. I don't know about cool. I was pretty unsure of it. Okay. Let's have a look at what else we've got that is new. We've talked about Sonoff. Let's just head back. Okay, we've got someone new on the stream. Welcome, Adrian. Welcome, Adrian. And Adrian says hi and welcome to everyone out there. So, Adrian, where are you from? Adrian Stroy. I'm picking maybe somewhere in Europe with that name. Yep, I might be wrong. I don't always know these things, but welcome, Adrian. Tell us what you're doing on Home Assistant and what you are finding fascinating. I was asked the question just now, what is my favorite automation? Be interested to know what yours is, Adrian. It'll be It's always good to know. I'm actually, so to tell you the truth, I'm a bit lazy when it comes to creating dashboards on Home Assistant and when it comes to creating automations, because I'm always looking for the next thing to be talking about. And my own Home Assistant system actually suffers because of that. So, yeah, it's always good to get feedback from the listeners as to what you guys are enjoying. All right, so let's see here. I have one like your nighttime automation, does all of that and changes the TV to channel. I want to watch in the morning, then it turns off and shuts off the entertainment center. Yeah, I agree with you totally. These systems of basically, one of the things is, I wanted to do this at work, but we didn't end up doing it. But it's a real story going around, morning and night, turning on all the lights, turning off all the lights when you leave or go to bed, making sure that everything's locked, making sure your alarm is turned off. It's quite a process. And for me, this is a really big thing of home automation is first of all, saving you money on your power bill, because certainly in New Zealand, power is getting more and more expensive. I think in Europe also, you guys are still finding increases. States, I know power is still pretty cheap. But for me, managing my power, because I have so many devices everywhere in my house, power management is a big thing. And I think the automation of turning on and off devices is a fantastic use of it. All right. Adrian is saying he is from Ireland. Oh, fantastic. Great place. I've been to Ireland. It was an awesome visit. The guy with 200 decons. Oh, there we go. Yes, I do remember you now, Adrian. My apologies for not remembering. But yeah, I do remember now about your 200 devices. How are they going? Is that Zigbee network of yours still standing up? I remember you were working with some aged Zigbee stick as well. So hopefully it's not going to pop it one day and you have to repair all those 200 devices. That could be a bit of a nightmare. All right. My favorite automation is leak sensors turning off the water pump. Turns off the water from the mains and phone notification. Ah, totally. So that is definitely a big one. Leak sensors. Leak sensors for me are they're pretty boring devices because you never really interact with them. And that's a big problem because with leak sensors, they sit there and the only time that they do their job is when something goes wrong, okay? And that's when you absolutely need them. The problem with leak sensors is that if you don't monitor them, you can do something else in your smart home and suddenly they disconnected and they're not working. So I think another important part of my automation that I'm going to create now is a Home Assistant automation that goes once a day and actually checks these critical sensors like leak sensors and makes sure that they are operating, because leak sensors will, they become disconnected. Trust me. I've got a couple around my house. Well, only two at the moment, one in the bathroom, one in the kitchen. And the last time I checked them, they were disconnected. So I'm going to create a short automation that checks to see, are they available? And if they are not available, it sends me a message on my smartphone, because I think that's something that really, really needs to be checked on. Okay. So Adrian is also saying, same for gas sensor, turns off the gas from the meter. Yeah, even more critical. I mean, the last thing you want to have is gas leaking in your house. So yeah, absolutely scary. I don't use gas. I have lived in houses with gas. When I first moved to New Zealand 20 years ago, it freaked me out having gas appliances. Having never had gas appliances in South Africa, it was quite scary. I got used to it after a while, but yeah, gas sensors are pretty important. So yeah, I think those would be absolutely key automations, alerting you if there's gas or water leaks or stuff like that. And then, creating an automation that actually checks to see that all those devices are in order and working. All right. Adrian is saying he's got 12 leak sensors. Oh my goodness, that is a lot of leak sensors, Adrian. Wow, where have you got them all? I mean, I'm assuming bathrooms and kitchens, maybe laundries. Where else? Either you've got a massive house, or have you got them at other critical locations in your building where you may expect a leak? For example, you could put some leak sensors in your roof. That would be quite good to see if you're getting a roof leak that you don't know about, which could be causing rot in your building. So leak sensors are actually really cool. They're that silent little device that is out there protecting your home 24/7 and making sure that there's no odd things. I just want to find my little notepad where I'd made some notes and about what to discuss, because I had some other topics that I was going to talk about. Okay. All right. So let's see here. Okay. So one of the first videos that I ever put out, and it's still to this day one of my highest viewed videos, and it just goes to show you that it's the content that people are watching, not so much the quality of the video, because the quality was terrible compared to what I'm doing today. But what it was in, I lived down in Beachlands, and we had water which was stored in tanks. There was no water supply from the council. And what I did was I created this little sensor. I got this stainless steel sensor that I found on AliExpress with a long lead, and you basically chucked it to the bottom of the tank. These are big tanks, 22,000 liter tanks. So you chuck this in, it sits at the bottom of the tank, and it measures the pressure, and it creates a voltage based on the pressure. And I used a Shelly uni to then communicate that back to Home Assistant and provide a gauge, and it could then warn me when water was getting low, because then you have to order water via a tank, and you don't want to be stuck at the end ordering at the last minute when everyone else is ordering water. So I created this video talking about how to build this. And what happened was, unfortunately, when you look at the AliExpress listing, there's two types of sensors. The one is a voltage, and the other one is a current. It creates a current rather than a voltage. And unfortunately, I did make it quite clear, and I put a note in my video description that you need the 3-wire version with the voltage output, not the ammeter output. But unfortunately, this person bought the ammeter one. So yeah, I try to be as clear as possible in my videos, but it's sometimes difficult. Now, I believe that there is a way to convert the ammeter over using a resistor or something to make it into voltage, but yep, I haven't tried that myself. All right, so there's another question. Let's have a look. New Shelly devices we've talked about, new Sonoff Zigbee devices we've talked about. Someone was asking whether EcoWood can ship to New Zealand. As far as I know, they can ship to New Zealand because they've sent me their devices. Now, they are sending me a new device now. EcoWood is going to be sending me a little color screen that goes with the weather station. So personally, I'm showing the weather now on my dashboard display in the kitchen. But if you didn't have a dashboard display, you really need a display to show your weather. So it'd be quite cool to see that little one. Now, another topic that I did put up in the news recently, there's been a lot of talk about these new Alexa devices that have been released recently. So let's just have a look here. Amazon Alexa. It'd be interesting to hear from you guys. You know, do you use these Amazon devices? Let's just go and have a look here quickly. Let me just go here. Amazon, the word that I shouldn't be saying and triggering anyone's. Okay, let's have a look here. All right, so in the last week or so, they've just had this big release on the 1st of October, okay, of new Amazon devices. So we've got two types of devices. We've got these show devices. Currently, I've got a Show 5. As I say, I don't integrate them with Home Assistant anymore. But there's new show devices with bigger screens, and they move around. And then there's different Amazon devices as well, the actual speakers. And they're talking here about having deeper conversations. So obviously it's got some AI technology that they are talking about being built into the Alexa Plus. They're obviously trying to sell the service of the Plus where you have to pay. They're talking about a better microphone array, giving you free-flowing interactions. So interesting to know, yeah. Do you use these devices? Do you think this Obviously, the market that they're aiming these at is probably slightly different to the market that I'm talking to in my videos. Most of you guys want local voice. But yeah, interesting to hear what your thoughts are on these devices, whether if you're using them, how are you finding the integration is going into Home Assistant? Is it working well for you? I gave up on it a while ago. All right, let's see what Adrian is saying. Had a Ring doorbell for 3 years, managed to replace it with an Aquara G410. Yes. So I had a Ring device as well, was the first doorbell that I bought. It lasted about 2 years. Now, I have an extreme environment at my front door. There's no covering, so it gets blasted. The rain comes from that side, and it absolutely gets blasted. So I was actually surprised that it lasted 2 years. I did find that one of the things that I quite liked about the Ring device was that it was quite good at not picking up traffic from my road. So it would only alert me if someone walked up to the front door. And yes, I was paying for the subscription at one stage. But yes, I've also now moved over. I've got that Aquara G10. Let's just show it for the rest of the people that maybe that don't know the Aquara G10. Let's just Google that one quickly. We'll copy that over there. And we'll stick it into the paste over here. So the G10 doorbell hub G10. Okay. So yes, I have this exact one as well. Now, some of the cool things about this one, obviously you're not having to pay for the subscription because it actually stores an SD card in the hub, which is quite a cool idea. So it's not going to have the problems of, paying for subscriptions. Hub for Matter and Aquara Zigbee devices. Okay. So the G10, is this now the latest version of the Aquara doorbell? Let's just see here. So I know that I've got one of the editions, which might be the first or the second edition. But yeah, the Aquara doorbells, one of the things that battery or wired. Okay, now I don't unfortunately have power at my doorbell, so I have to go with the battery version. And it uses 6 AA cells, as you can see. So quite a lot of batteries. I think what I'll be doing is putting rechargeable batteries into mine so that I can recharge them. What I do really like about this little hub idea, so at my front door, it's quite a distance away from my Wi-Fi router. And the problem is that a lot of the doorbells are struggling to communicate with my router. So they are falling over. Whereas this is a good idea, having a tiny little hub that you can plug in really close and will connect, and then that hub connects via Wi-Fi. So I think that Aquara is definitely onto something. And I think the G10 is probably the new one because I see they're talking here about a millimeter wave radar sensor. So that's pretty cool. I'll be interested to know what your experience is like with this router, Adrian, or with this Aquara G10. Let's see here. Aquara have a new one that has not been, that one. Aquara have a new one that has not been released. Okay. So the new one is still waiting to be released. Okay. Yep. I'm hoping to get a hold of that new one soon and test it out. David saying, hi, Simon. I'm late to the party. Sadly, I've missed an hour. Will this live chat available to watch again? Yes, David, it most certainly will. All of my live streams are loaded up. The moment they finished, I basically press the button and I'll load them up. So yeah, you will definitely be able to view it. I'm sorry you missed out. I did start at a different time this morning. I try to put a little bit of an advice on my Discord and also on my YouTube channel. But yeah, it is a different time today. I normally do it at 10 a.m. This morning was at 7 a.m. So I do apologize for that. I will in the future try and give more notice on my live streams. But unfortunately, the way life is, it's sometimes hard to plan an exact time. But yeah, I will certainly try and do a better job of that, David. But yeah, feel free, have a look at the live stream. You can view it on YouTube. It will be available along with all my other live streams. So, David, what's been happening in your life? Are there any new devices that you're looking at buying? There's been a whole heap of new devices. Obviously, IFA in Europe was sort of a couple of weeks ago. I watched quite a lot of the videos on IFA. It looked like there's some pretty cool new tech that was released at IFA this year. I know certainly I received all sorts of new devices being sent out to me around the IFA release. So, yeah, pretty cool to see what's going on. And everyone, please just let me know if you've got any cool new devices that you are checking out that you are expecting to be released soon. And I'll show you this. I think I found this thing, King Wild Penguin AI. Let's see if I can find it. What I'm trying to do is show you a little video that came up on my Facebook stream. Oh, here we go. This is the one. Let me see if I can show you this. Okay. So I'm going to show you this. Tell me what you think. This popped up, this little video popped up feed. Let it play. We'll turn the music down. You don't need to hear the music. Okay. So basically, this is quite a crazy looking device. And I don't know if this is just some AI sort of produced garbage or is this a real product? Quite bizarre. So what it is, it looks like this ball that sits on this effectively metal system and it moves around back and forth. The ball is blown up and it's got like a pump. It pumps it up and then it's got cameras and lights inside it by this company called Penguins Innovate. And they are saying that this is a device that they are going to be bringing to market as a Kickstarter. So yeah, interesting to know what you think. I don't know. I basically filled out the thing and I put my email address. I'll probably be spammed forever and a day. But I was just interested to see something quite different being released. Obviously, you know, there's a lot of products that are innovating and improving, but it's always interesting to see when there's a product that's like really wacky out there, totally different to products that we've all been seeing coming up. So yeah, if anyone's seen that or it's popped up on your feed, is it something that would interest you? I'm not quite sure what they're trying to achieve there, if it is a real product that's going to be made. You know, you've got PTZ cameras that can follow you indoors. You've got smart lighting. This is trying to bring everything together into this ball that moves around. Yeah, pretty strange, but yeah, please let me know if you have something that you find interesting about that. Okay, let me see. I did have some other notes here to talk about. The new Alexa we talked about, the new AI robot, that's what I've showed you. All right, another person was talking about the little speaker that I showed earlier in the stream, which is a new type of a speaker that's been released from Seed Studio. This is the device over here. It's got 4 microphones and it's got a special voice XMOS processor inside it. The problem is it's just a board. There's no case for this. There's a case that you can buy that works without the actual ESP32, but if you want the ESP32, which I do because you want to load ESP Home on here, there's no way to actually use it. So someone was saying, yeah, that will Sonoff be releasing a smart voice assistant? I don't know. Let's wait and see. All right. David is saying, I've taken the plunge and I've got the short dongle max last week. Oh, cool, cool. That sounds interesting. Well, let me know what you think of the dongle max. It'd be great to hear what it is like. I've not signed up before, so I have a learning curve to climb, but all seems good so far. I've spent the first day trying to pair an IKEA sensor. Oh my goodness. Okay. What is the reason? Sonoff dongle max autocorrect. Okay. So that's the one that I was showing earlier. That's this one. Is it true? Or is that the ultra? Is this the max? Let's see. Next gen dongle max. Yeah. That's this one over here. Yeah, it's a little bit tricky getting it set up if you're using it in the Wi-Fi mode. Now, interesting you say that you're trying an IKEA sensor. Now, we've actually got an IKEA opening up in New Zealand in the next couple of months. So that's going to be quite cool because I've never tried any IKEA sensors. So I will definitely go to IKEA when it opens up and I will buy an IKEA. I'll buy one of their sensors and I'll test it out on mine and see if I have any issues getting it to connect, because the devices that I connected, the Sonoff devices, all connected fine, and some of my other. Had an issue with a Kia Parasol, recognized but wouldn't work, very frustrating. Now, David, are you using ZHA or are you using Zigbee to MQTT? I'll be interested. I was using ZHA when it tested it. I've been having a lot of problems with Zigbee to MQTT. I don't know why. It must be me being dumb. I just cannot get Zigbee to MQTT working. But I was using with ZHA, seemed to work fine. You can watch my video and see how I paired the stuff up with it. I've been playing around with Zigbee. They've got another dongle that they've released as well. It seems to be dongle season. But let us know how you get on. And IKEA, I'm keen to try. It seems they have quite a lot of different smart home devices, so really keen to see what it is that IKEA is going to be showing. Anyway, guys, I must apologize, but unfortunately the hour is up. It's been fantastic chatting with all of you again. Thank you so much for everyone that has come online for the live stream today. Apologies once again for making it at a different time. But I thought I'd just try a different time for a change because it worked for me this week. But yeah, in the future, I will try and keep the live streams to about 10 because it seems to be the most popular time for a lot of people. Now, thank you everyone for attending. Thank you for your time. Please feel free to comment in any of my videos. If there's anything interesting that you find out there, new products, new things that you're trying out, if you've got any questions about my smart home, if you want to show me something that you've done, please just pop a comment to me. I do read all the comments and try and respond to as many of them as possible. I'm using ZHA. David says I've since paired award sensors, then amazingly the IKEA sensor worked. Oh, interesting. Award sensors. Let's have a look. What are award sensors? I've never heard of that brand. Let's just check award out. Journal Awards, award sensors, best of sensors award. Okay, can't find any award sensors. Maybe a typo, not sure. Adrian is saying bye. Thank you, Adrian. Been awesome having with you around on the stream. Anyway, guys, as I say, I think I'm going to have to quit the stream now. My voice is starting to go. 1 hour of talking is about as much as I can handle, even though it is always fun engaging with everyone on the stream. I really look forward to chatting again. Please feel free, put those comments in. I always read them and I will try and respond where I can. But thank you so much. And, Aquara, not award. All right, that makes sense, David. Yeah, I wasn't quite sure award, whether it was some new brand. Yeah, silly old autocorrect, eh? Yeah, Aquara, yep. They seem to connect quite well with my Sonoff, my Sonoff Zigbee stick. But anyway, guys, thank you so much. I'm going to fly now. Have a super week. Let me know what's happening, and I'll chat with you soon. Bye for now.